Okay, so you want to know about setting yourself up for a comfortable retirement. Right. You sent over some really interesting stuff from Age Well, Live Fully, your mind body prescription book. It looks like there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive.
But we'll try to pull out like the really important things so you can get the big picture, without getting lost in the weeds.
Right. Yeah, without getting overwhelmed, just focusing on the essential stuff.
Right, exactly. So let's just jump right in, I guess. I mean, the first thing that really jumps out from the book is budgeting and saving.
Uh,
It sounds pretty basic,
yeah.
but it seems like it's kind of the foundation, like
Yeah.
knowing where your money's going and, making sure you're putting some away regularly.
Yeah, and what I thought was really cool is it actually gets into some pretty practical tips,
Huh.
like, recommending budgeting apps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or even just like spreadsheets, which I thought was interesting, because it's not just about like tracking it, but you can actually use those tools to kind of analyze your spending patterns
Mm.
and see maybe where you could cut back or, even like project future scenarios
Oh, that's really
based on your current habits. Yeah.
I like that. So building on that, then it goes into estate planning and inheritance, which is
Wow.
something that, a lot of us probably don't want to think about.
Right.
But, it's obviously so important to make sure that, your wishes are carried out
Absolutely.
and that your loved ones are taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So it talks about wills, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes through kind of the key things there,
Yeah.
the will, like you said, which is that legal document that basically spells out how you want your assets divided up.
Right.
Then it gets into trusts, which can be a little more flexible, and sometimes they can even help reduce estate taxes. And then that power of attorney, which is huge, because that lets you choose somebody to make, decisions on your behalf if you're ever unable to.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's so important. And it really stresses that you need to talk to an estate planning attorney. Like, this isn't a do-it-yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, got
You
it.
need to get some personalized legal advice.
Especially with something as important as this, because if you don't do it right,
Yeah,
it can cause a lot of problems down the line.
exactly. Yeah, huge headaches for everyone involved.
Exactly.
Then it goes on to long-term care planning,
Mm,
which
yeah.
becomes more and more important as we get older.
Right. It's something that a lot of people don't want to think about. But the reality is, as we age, the need for long-term care, whether it's like a nursing home or even just help at home, becomes more likely.
Right.
And those costs can be, they can be just astronomical.
Astronomical, yeah. So it mentions long-term care insurance.
Yes. Yes. As a way to kind of help with those costs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Help manage, yeah. And it suggests that you should really research the different options that are out there.
Right. Because there's a lot of different plans and things like that.
Right. And think about, your health, your potential needs, and how that kind of insurance fits into, your overall financial picture.
Yeah. And, it's not about trying to predict exactly what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
It's just about being prepared, right,
Being prepared, yeah.
for different possibilities so that you can protect yourself
Right.
financially, yeah, and your independence too.
Exactly. Yeah. Be able to make your own choices. And then finally, it talks about Medicare and Medicaid,
Mm-hmm.
those big government healthcare programs.
Yeah, those are essential.
So Medicare is mostly for people 65 and older, right?
Right. And some younger folks with disabilities too.
Got it. And then Medicaid is more for, I guess, low-income individuals and families?
Yeah, it's a joint federal and state program.
Okay. So it's really important to understand how those work and what they cover.
Yeah, it can get complicated.
Yeah.
But the book really recommends talking to, maybe a healthcare professional or like a Medicare advisor,
Someone who knows.
someone who can help you navigate all that and make sure you're getting all the benefits you're entitled to.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we went over a lot of stuff. I mean, from just the basics of budgeting and saving to all the ins and outs of estate planning, wills, trusts, power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about, planning for long-term care and then understanding those big government programs.
Yeah, Medicare and Medicaid, it's a lot to think about,
It is a lot.
but it really is the foundation. It's like building a house. You need these strong cornerstones to have that security, that financial security, that sense of control.
Right, peace of mind.
Exactly.
That's a great way to put it. So I guess thinking about all that, I mean, all the different pieces we talked about, from budgeting to estate planning to long-term care to those government benefits, what do you think? Like, what maybe stands out to you as something that you might want to kind of dig into a little bit deeper, or maybe even talk to a professional about? I mean, I think that could be a really good next step.
Yeah, for sure, to kind of start putting these pieces together.
Yeah, and getting a plan that's really tailored to you.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, great.
That was a good overview, I think.
Yeah, thanks for walking us through all that. It's really helpful.
You're welcome. Happy to help.